Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600. Marvin drove that night, hummed along the quiet Nairobi roads as it wound its way from Kilimani to Embakasi. The streets glistened under the orange hue of the streetlights, and the city had begun to wind down into stillness. But inside the car, silence stretched like a taut wire. Lena sat in the passenger seat, her body stiff, her gaze locked on the window. Her fingers played nervously with the hem of her red bodycon dress, already slightly wrinkled from the dinner. Her blue wig, once bouncy and confident, felt heavy now, like a mask she could no longer wear comfortably. Marvin, upbeat and oblivious, kept talking. "Babe, did you see how impressed my dad was when I told him about the graphics business?" "I swear, this year is ours." Lena smiled faintly. "Yeah, I saw." But her mind wasn't on Marvin. It was replaying the moment in the hallway, the way Mr. A's eyes pinned her like a secret, the quiet tension in the dining room, the way his fingers slowly circled the rim of his whiskey glass as he watched her. The things he didn't say screamed louder than Marvin's laughter. Mr. A hadn't spoken much at dinner, but when he did, every word was deliberate. Every glance was a burn. "You okay?" Marvin asked, glancing at her with concern as he slowed near her apartment gate. Lena blinked out of her daze and nodded quickly. "Yeah, just tired. It was a long day." He leaned over and kissed her cheek. "You looked amazing tonight. My dad must think I'm the luckiest guy alive." She forced a chuckle. "He didn't say much." "He doesn't have to," Marvin replied with a grin. "Trust me, if he didn't like you, we'd know." Lena didn't respond. Instead, she got out of the car and waved him off. He drove off into the night, still smiling. She turned toward her building and exhaled the breath she'd been holding since they left Kilimani. Inside her small bedsitter, she tossed her heels aside and dropped onto her bed. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Marvin. "Good night, babe. Sleep tight. I love you." She stared at the message, thumb hovering over the screen. Then another message came in, this time from an unsaved number. "You left your lipstick. I kept it safe. A." Her heart stopped. "Mr. A?" She read it again. Then again. How did he get her number? Did Marvin give it to him innocently? Did he ask for it? 1,000 thoughts raced through her mind. She wanted to ignore it. She should ignore it. But her fingers betrayed her, typing faster than her conscience. "Thanks, that was an intense dinner." Seconds passed. Then came the reply. "You have no idea." Her skin prickled. She stood up, pacing her tiny room. Why was he texting her? What did he want? And more importantly, why did part of her want to know? The next morning, Lena stood under the shower for longer than usual. The water pounded her body, but it couldn't wash off the heat of Mr. A's gaze from the night before. Her phone buzzed again. She stepped out, towel wrapped around her chest, and picked it up. Another message from him. "You're distracting, Lena. That dress was dangerous." She gasped softly, staring at the screen. There was no emoji, no humor. Just that. A quiet truth laced with something forbidden. For a moment, she typed a reply, then deleted it. Instead, she went to Instagram and scrolled through Marvin's posts. Photos of them smiling, trips to Naivasha, birthday dinners, him with his father. She found one from 6 months ago, Marvin and Mr. A standing outside their house in Kilimani, dressed for church. Marvin's caption, "The two men I admire the most, Dad and God." Lena stared at Mr. A's photo. The same eyes. That unreadable, authoritative presence. How did she not see it before? She quickly locked her phone and buried it under her pillow. She needed to get out, to breathe. But as she stepped out into the streets of Embakasi, wearing her simplest jeans and a hoodie, she felt different, as if she'd crossed into a world where desire was a threat and secrets were only beginning to bloom. Later that night, Lena couldn't sleep. The air was too thick, her room too small, her thoughts too loud. At midnight, another message lit her screen. "Can I call you?" She stared at it. Her finger hovered, and slowly, she typed back, "Only for a minute."
Looking through my evil eyes, smoking wood to be defied. Looking good to see me shine, getting testy, watch your mouth. See a snake, I call it out. Pistol grip right on the couch, that's what I was all about. I was living all in sin. Shit was getting too much. Started losing all my friends. Life was getting too tough. Had no money I could spend. Only had a few bucks. Thought my life was about to end. About to chuck the deuce up. I ain't here